Welcome to DiceSized and welcome back to Wish Hunter. This is a D&D audio adventure podcast where we tell bite-sized dice rolled twice told stories. This is me, your DM and friend, Robert Whitehead. With me, as always, is my lovely table of friends and family here. We, of course, have George.
Hey, it's G, playing Parable on the back of a fucking dragon. I shouldn't swear right away. On the back of a dragon.
No, I mark them explicit. It's fine. It's a thing to swear about. If I was on the back of a dragon, I would be saying, I think the first thing I would do is call you or my wife.
It's okay. It's all right.
A group call.
Okay, it's my brother that gets the call that I'm on a dragon. I'm sorry.
I get it.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it did come from a place of excitement for sure.
But I'm saying I'm on a dragon.
It's been great. Yeah, so I'm ready to get back into flying with my friends amongst a bunch of butterflies.
Hell yeah. Those wishful butterflies are gathering amongst the living wishes that have fallen into that little flutter. Is that a flutter of butterflies? Migration? Whatever it is. The living wishes are starting to mirror them as the butterflies just become more and more and they are able to hide within. But before we get there,
I'm also a fucking genie.
That's true. That's true. Let's get that in the clear. We are a demi-genie. But before we get to the story, we got to get to Maya.
Hey, it's Maya. You can call me Maya. And if you're confused and don't know how many clusters each team has, don't worry. Zin has kept a list. The current cluster counter is Wish Hunters with 2, Aelin Solari with 1, and Starwatch with 0 because they're basically dead. Interestingly
enough, nobody knows how many wishes you actually have because each of those clusters will represent a D4 that will roll for once the Great Wishing Foley comes into effect. So those will be crucially important, but we'll talk about that. Now I'm getting ahead of myself in terms of mechanics. What am I doing here?
Sorry, Zin had a list and she had to tell everyone about it.
I love it. It's a good job. Well done. And another person who gets the job done every time is my lovely wife, Savannah.
We'll pretend that's not an innuendo. Sav here.
Hey.
I'll be playing Cassi. She can't come to the phone right now. She's busy leaving her dad a really mean voicemail.
Yes.
So you can leave a message at the beep.
The energy that I get from you, Sav, whenever we're talking about Claude is just it's so intense, and part of me is afraid of what happens if there is to be any amount of downtime. So let's just get at it, right?
I do not condone texting while driving, but I did require Rob's help today while I took notes in the car. Highly important thoughts, ideas, and content for a conversation with Claude. So.
Claude Ptolemy, to be exact, not the other Claude in the group.
I just watched
not to be confused with Claude's coworker, Claude.
I just watched her hate text herself a note about what she was going to say.
The light was red.
Yeah, well, then it wasn't. Either way, your energy was intense. And the other thing that's about to be intense is this recap. Last time, after the fall of Ever, the firstborn of living wishes, our heroes had little time to breathe before Solaris, the frozen shooting star, shuddered and cracked apart. A third living wish was flung toward the distant lands of fortune, heralding the dawn of the next great wishing. The valley below, fragile from the fight, was at risk of collapse as violet light bathed the world, the last splinter of the star remaining. Parable, Zin, and Cassi combined their powers not to strike, but to hold the lands together, buying precious moments for its people. The reprieve was shattered as the sky began to fall and rival factions arrived. From the west, Aelin Solari, from Zin's home of Domi, the Starcallers, led by Alita Dario. From the east, the Sages and Tower Hands of Starwatch Tower, led by Pulsar Zen. Living fledgling wishes rained down, each burning with the promise and peril of a wish. Even as they arrived, 2 of the Starcallers, Esther and Igor, 2 of Zin's childhood friends, spotted Zin and dropped out of the chase for these fallen stars. The Wish Hunters rose to meet them, taking to the air on their dragon allies, Saphandra, Gloom, and Glimmer, while Papaya and Dapple rallied ground forces. Cassie's wishborn butterflies split the battlefield and protected the fallen wishes that they surrounded. This allowed Saphandra to easily claim one of the falling stars mid-flight, the star's light reflecting off of her scales. Atem, restored by Parable's silver power, breathed once more as he laid about the Starwatch Tower Hands and Sages. One of those Tower Sages was Cassi's father. Claude Ptolemy's eyes found Cassi, his daughter, and then Raya, who in the moment looked so like Soraya in visage, convinced him to come flying to their side, and Parable's aura dropped him from the air. The battle churned on. Glimmer dove in a punishing strike and took a grievous hit in return. Zin's second charm flared, transforming her into a portal to hell as a nightmare appeared galloping out from her as Akuma took nightmare form. Gloom captured a cluster of wishfall even as Glimmer fought on fiercely. Akuma, in nightmare form, charged through the fray, felling a Starwatch monk whose fading essence Zen drank. Pulsar Zen, stunned, cried, "But the Sibyllin books of prophecy spoke of heroes." Atem, now in a towering guardian of faith form, answered, "The Sibyllin prophecy is true. The problem is just that you happen to be the villain." Elsewhere in the sky, Alita Dario's lantern-ranked star colors claimed a wishfall cluster in a dazzling, brutal display, their weapons blazing with the power of the light. Movements precise and unrelenting, they cut through the sky with righteous fury until that falling star was theirs. We rejoin our heroes now, high above the valley, locked in a frantic race for falling wishes, flanked by dragons and pursued by enemies. The next great wishing has begun, and the battle for its first stars is already underway. Cassi, that is you up next. And I should also give a reminder about unit stuff. Units will just have a d6 to contest for rolls, as well as a number of special abilities that will allow for them to interact with each other amongst other D&D mechanics. But without further ado, that is you, Cassi.
Amazing. I think Savannah and I are going to move to capture another living wish.
Perfect.
There's one just ahead of us. I think we're going to go for that one in close proximity, and it's still within the swarm or flock of butterflies.
Awesome. I think in the flock of butterflies, I'm going to give you advantage on d6 rolls.
Oh.
With Savannah, you have a power of 5. So you got 5 d6 rolls. One of those from last time we decided we could substitute into a d8 due to your prophecy die.
So 4 d6s and a d8.
And that d8 is like literally Raya reaching out and saying, "No, like young ones, to me, let us protect you," as she, like an adult sea turtle, looks to a bunch of sea turtles trying to make it their way across the beach.
Amazing.
Little babies.
Okay. So I have advantage on all 5 of these rolls.
Correct.
Okay. Here we go.
First temp as Savannah makes
No
for the
pass.
sky. Okay.
1 6.
Okay.
1 5.
Nice.
So 2 succeed. 1 more succeed. 3 successes.
Wow.
Is that all 3 clusters then?
All three of the
clusters within the area.
In the butterfly field.
Fantastic. That is
All
so
3
cool.
clusters in the butterfly field.
What does this look like? I think this is similar to when you guys had those experiences in the forest and the wisp would kind of follow you and be driven to move by what you were doing, or otherwise, respond to the magics that you seem to let off as the important Dominari that you are. What does this look like as Raya helps to gather up these wishful butterflies as Savannah flies amongst them?
The only thing I can think of is that it's the combination of 3 types of creatures who are all able to fly. And so they're doing so, like Raya's ability to fly paired with Savannah's ability to navigate through the air with her wings, and then the butterflies, the flock of them, using their wings to sort of flutter around. It just feels like a fun synergy of flight power.
Absolutely. They fly in a way as to start to lead this flock and flutter of butterflies that are living wishes in form and gather around you all.
Does Savannah glow?
Not only that, she sings as Savannah's song is singing louder than ever, especially with Raya and Cassi to harmonize with her. And this, amongst the madness, helps to bring these living wishes to her side.
Amazing. If Savannah has any more movement, I'm going to have her scooch us over towards the western side of the butterfly zone.
Cool.
And Cassi is going to make an attack on the Aelin Solari who have captured the living wish to the west.
Fantastic. So you're contesting another unit. So this is the first time this is really coming into play here. Even if your attack doesn't succeed, you'll still have a contested d6 roll as you rock in here with Savannah.
Cool. So the attack that Cassi is going to make is she's going to cast Call Lightning.
That's my friend.
Can I just say that I'm looking down, I see Papaya down below. I look up and I see a giant orb of butterflies with already glowing wishes in it that you can kind of see where the light's creeping through, but this giant moving light through it, like creating these psychedelic lights through the butterflies, is stuck in my head right now. And if you call some lightning, parables is tripping, man.
I feel like it looks like one of those things at the science center where the electricity is coming
that's
in.
what I'm picturing.
And it's like in this big
I was trying to think of what I was thinking of. That is exactly where I'm at. Yeah.
Static balls, yeah. Maybe with like
but made of butterflies.
Oh my god.
I think you like appear as almost like a line of light that like is fluctuating and emanating in different frequencies and colors, just like a blazing comet of color, as that is what bursts out of the butterfly field as you head towards the Aelin Solari. I think give me an intimidation check even before any of this.
Wow, okay. 19.
Yeah, absolutely. They were just celebrating with such success. Zin, what do you think your community would do as like a show of celebration in terms of we've praised the light in the best way possible? I'm thinking kind of like jazz hands.
Jazz hands, but I'm also imagining like light cantrips.
Yeah.
Just like, or like throwing like a light ball back and forth, like, ooh, catch this. Like, yeah, we're so cool.
Yeah, they're doing like little light manipulation, and then the horizon's entire color scheme changes as Cassi approaches.
They like look at each other like, was that us? Oh fuck.
Well, yeah, they don't even know yet. They're like looking at each other. They're intimidated by their own powers. They're like, did we do that?
Did we do that?
Oh god. As you have thoroughly intimidated the Star Color Lantern unit, I will drop their morale by another point, which you guys did at 1 point last session. So that they are just 1 point away from having to roll for breaking. Cassi, that is now your attack if you'd like to follow through with that.
Amazing. Yeah. So Call Lightning, it appears as a storm cloud that takes the shape of a cylinder that's 10 feet tall with a 60-foot radius. So I'd like to get as many of them in there as possible. Is there a roll I could make to see if this might harm the Living Wish?
Interesting.
Can Cassi tell what might happen to a Living Wish if it were to take damage from an attack?
You know what? I'm going to say that they are giving it total cover due to the way that they've captured it, which is they had to like surround it in the light energy, which is more like a consuming void type deal. But they're basically like holding their hands together all around.
Jazz hands together.
Yes.
Yeah. They're jazz hands in this Living Wish. And so I'm going to give that Living Wish total cover from any effect that might come their way.
Okay, sweet.
They're bottled.
The other two Aelin Solari who will be captured in this cylinder will need to make a dexterity saving throw, 16 or higher.
They've just got a +1 to the save here. That's a 9 on the die and a 4 on the die. Neither of those are going to save. Tell me that damage, baby.
17 total.
Oof.
So they each will take 17 damage.
17 to both, and the way these units are going to be structured, that essentially will count doubled in terms of dropping their power. So with 34 damage to the entire unit, essentially. So with 34 damage, you're dropping one half of the squad with 20 damage. There's one guy left as you face him. And so we're going to do that contested D6 roll now and see if it breaks. Whoever loses this contest loses 1 power and 1 toughness. If they lose, their entire unit breaks. And if you lose, then Savannah loses 1 power.
You go first.
So this unit would get +1 to this D6 roll if they were adjacent to another Star Color unit. They are not, because Alita Dorito is on the ground, and we'll roll this. Oh, that is a 6 on the die, though.
Watch this. It's a 4.
Well,
that's all right.
As you fly in, the last lantern rank Star Color of this unit holds fast and stabs into Savannah as you ride past. You can hear her pain in your mind, but she doesn't let it out for fear that Glimmer and Gloom would be worried for her well-being as she takes a very strong strike to the underbelly.
Cassi yells, "You fucking light lickers."
light lickers.
You'll regret that.
But even as you fly away and you say, "You fucking light lickers," you'll regret that. They have to make a roll not to break because their power is so low. And with a 1 on the D6, they will break.
Zen, what's the equivalent of a middle finger?
Darkness and shadow. Zen's existence.
I think, it's your animated shield. You have that little bit of consuming void, and you see them manipulating little bits of it. You can see like one guy's got like a dagger that ends in a pitched night with stars laced throughout. All of the stuff that they have pales in comparison to the mastery that you have over the void and the stars. And you show that to them from a distance enough so that this last survivor just is convinced to run away.
Amazing.
You know what? I think because you didn't use your bonus action, I would allow you to use it to try to catch that Living Wish that escapes from the star collar as he gives up and drops the void magic that he's holding. It looks like a kind of like a goldfish, albeit like an overlarge one, as it mimics a fish in flight, a fish in flight as it bobs up and down through the air.
I would like to use Starlight Step to do that.
Oh, awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, perfect. Roll me a d6, and on a 5 or a 6, you will capture this wish.
That's a 6.
Fuck yeah. Okay, awesome.
I will update the cluster counter.
Thanks, Zin.
Zin taking her notes.
That is just so freaking cool.
Cass is just raking in the living wishes.
I was overdue.
Seriously, that is just amazing. As you succeeded 3 times with Savannah, another once on your turn. That is a great way to start this session, as you have Savannah doing what she needs to be doing if her people and her species are to survive, and what you all need to be doing if you are to make it through this great wishing. Parable, that is you up next.
Oh boy, Parable's been very distracted by Atem in front of him, but he does have a moment, I think, when he sees the light and the butterfly bursts and the lightning. He's like, metamorphosis, and just sees this cool just growth in a friend that I think was just incredible to see. And it makes sense that Savannah got the most stars.
As she should.
As you say metamorphosis, or even just think it to yourself and appreciate Atem and his fading essence, given the fact that he's done 60 damage, he looks to you, and for a moment something passes between you two. Thank you for the power, young Demijan, as you hear in your mind, but more so you get the feeling like of a desert going through seasons, life happening, growing from the sand and dying. You see the Murray people that you know have some strong, important part of your past wandering in a timeless desert, but it feels like much more. What does it feel like to you?
I think it feels like to Parable true camaraderie. It's a moment of shared belief, shared genetics, apparently. But I think it really resonates in Parable as a real, like you said, of his prior experiences recently and of the past that really affected him and grounded in who he now is. It comes out as, honestly, the salute that he's been doing. He does it without the sword this time.
A blade of flame and air appears.
I think it's more like a hand gesture of the Murray that they held on, and they don't know why they do it. And so without the sword, he kind of just touches his chest, touches his forehead, and then like reaches out a hand. And I think Atem weirdly does the same. And then Parable snaps his fingers, and Atem retreats back through him into the good book and the lamp.
Fantastic. Absolutely. Yes. Returning to his bottled form, he once more rests to be truly reborn. But you gave him I think that must have had some good benefit, like letting him stretch his legs while he wasn't actually able to use his power of his own accord. I think he'll heal a little bit faster. But for now, you have other business in front of you to take care of.
Turns to the butterflies and his friends, and he looks at way less sparkles in the sky. How close can I get to the Aelin Solari on the ground?
Alita Dario is on the ground and
Alita Dorito
has 3 acolytes. I think that would just take you a turn of movement.
Awesome. I look down at Glimmer and I say, I know you're hurt, bud, but you want to surf some butterflies? And just look expectantly up at the big butterflies.
Nice. Yeah, Glimmer's definitely got the fly speed to drop down upon them. And as you look up to the butterflies expectantly, what exactly are you hoping for?
Just as like you're gliding along the circumference of the circle, right at the edge, and just kind of gliding around that to surprise at the edge of the horizon.
Cool. As you glide along the edge, Glimmer, again, a little bit more of the downtrodden of the siblings, has a moment of levity as he reaches into the butterflies and like splitting a waterfall, cuts a line in this almost pure sphere of golden flitting shapes. And as you do so, you also find a very strategically helpful angle to like dropping in the light of the sun, blind Alita Dario as she looks up, snapping to her acolytes. You'll never be loved by the light like I am if you don't move faster. Oh my God. If I'm the one that has to cast fly.
He's going to lean down and say, glide and flip upside down, buddy.
Ramo.
Just trust me. And Parable's going to hold on real tight with his legs. That was awesome. Parable's going to hold on real tight with his legs, and he's going to try to strike Lita Dorito with his luck blade across the top.
Cool.
And I think this is the first time that his blade is going to erupt, honestly, on accident with the last breath.
Oh, fantastic. Yes. Do you want to read off your blade of the last breath and what you're able to do with that?
Yeah. When conjured from Noble Jin's breath, the hilt of the sword bears a silvery rune, depictive of the Jin's breath. By my last breath, or invoke breath. When you target a creature with an attack using this weapon, you can invoke your breath, causing the blade to flare with silver light and infusing your attack with the primordial elemental magics of the Jin that runs through your veins. You then spend and roll one of your unspent hit dice and add the number rolled to the attack roll. If this attack hits, then you can spend and roll any number of your unspent hit dice and then add the total roll to the weapon's damage.
Hell yeah, you can. And I don't think you guys have used any short rest dice, right? You have all your hit die.
I have all my hit die.
So you have hit die per level. So you got fucking 9. Oh, wow. What have I done?
All right. So first roll to hit. That's a 17 to hit.
17 will hit.
Nice. Okay. And how would I roll the hit die? Let's see what my hit die are at.
So you can, you'll just roll, you can press short rest on your character sheet to like get the details for your stuff.
Cool. I have 6 hit die. So can I roll those with my damage?
Yes.
No way.
Well, yes, you get to roll as many as you want, but then you won't be able to use them for any short rest. Like that is very important.
Cool. I'm going to use 2.
Okay, cool. I am realizing that I'm going to need to put some guardrails on that.
That's a 9 plus 18, 27 damage.
Fantastic. As you drop down upon Alita, what does this look like as you invoke your breath?
Parable tries clicking the pen in his silverine hand for the first time. With this, his last breath in mind, he takes a deep breath and he clicks and it extends. He flips upside down and he just swipes across.
So cool. Just like doing something that you would do, but accepting yourself at the same time, or at least this newly found side of yourself. With 27 damage, you will fully drop their power by 1, and Alita throws one of the acolytes in front of her as your elemental energies whip this poor individual away. And she says, I told you weren't loved by the light like I am. Otherwise, that would have hit me.
Boo, Lito Dorito.
Boo. Parable, anything else on this turn as you have dropped upon them? I think you got another attack, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, God.
God.
That is a 18 to hit.
Yes, that will hit.
Nice. I'm going to click my pen and switch it to the lucky pen blade. So it looks like an ethereal elemental swipe, and then I just kind of do a backhand as I'm crossing as well. But I'm also going to smite.
31 so far.
And that's an additional 7 damage with the smite.
Nice. 38 damage just almost gets you there. Dang. But Alita again throws up an acolyte in front of her who looks singed and scorched. And as this poor acolyte takes the blast, they say, "Oh, for the light, for the light," as they get blasted in the face with your energies. This acolyte seems to like it. And Alita says, "Now that's the attitude you need to climb the ladder."
Oh my God.
Of this cult.
Is this a religion or an MLM?
Who isn't
Yes.
Arguably both.
Yes. Yes.
Parable, you've still got Glimmer as a unit to do their attacks based on their power, which I think is just 1 right now, and a contested D6 roll following that.
Cool. I think Glimmer of their own accord, hopefully, as I'm doing this move, breathed fire the whole time.
Oh, fucking badass. Yeah. Roll for hit there.
17 to hit.
17 will hit. So we'll just do a flat 10 damage, but we'll break your threshold over because you had just hit done about 37. So I think you pop into 47, enough to drop 2 power from this unit. And another acolyte is fully scorched as he says, "My lady, will I be rewarded by the light for the fact that I've been hurt so badly?" And she says, "Yeah, probably," as he's incinerated by Glimmer's dragon breath.
Savage.
I just imagine Lita going, ooh.
Ooh, I guess the light still likes
Don't get it on me.
Ew.
I don't have any movement left, do I?
No movement left, but you do have a contested D6 roll here as units have engaged. I got a 2 over here.
A 5.
Let me see if I've got anything Alita's got. Might have an ability to help here. Yes, Alita is actually going to re-roll this.
No.
She learned that from Zen.
Using gravity collapse, will roll a 6 on the die, and if winning, drops the other enemy unit by 2 morale.
Can I use a luck point?
No. What is Glimmer's current morale?
Glimmer's current morale is 5.
It drops to 3.
Oh.
Savannah is going to use Starborn Guardian.
What?
She's going to use Starborn Guardian, which allows adjacent allies to reroll failed contests once per round. So I'm hoping that
I'm underneath
we're
her.
literally right
You
next to
both
each other.
specified that you were going to the western side of the battlefield, so I will say yes.
to the
Totally.
western sky.
Yes, Savannah.
Great. Love that.
Reroll that contest, Glimmer.
All right.
That means,
You got to get a 6, right?
yes, that means you got to get a 6.
It's a 3.
Oof.
We tried. We tried.
Thank you.
Half of a 6.
You did get a +1 to that, but that's still not enough.
It was good
with
for
a
morale.
4 versus the 6, as your morale is dropped by 2. You are 1 morale point loss away from Glimmer being unwilling to fight and engage. And as you try to, with your little movement you have left, to disengage, you are unable to, as Alita says in a completely different voice, eyes filled with void. Not so fast. We were having fun.
Ooh, it feels like young dragon energy of like we were doing it so cool, barrel rolling through the groups, couple sword
You do
slices,
this-
some fire, and then Glimmer goes through his own fire and starts like coughing and sneezing.
You drop amongst the ground and it's like this fantastic moment of prowess. But as soon as you try to get away, I imagine Glimmer's wings trying to flap and trying to gain altitude, and just the gravity pull of the gravity well that is Alita pulling you both down and back to her side. And you don't have any other ways to do damage?
I have Nix and more?
Oh, you have your Spirit Shroud.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, toss that D8 at me.
Cool. That is a 6.
With a 6, yeah, more than enough to break that threshold, and you drop Lita's squad as... How do you finish the last acolyte that she throws in front of her face?
I think I would leave it to Nix and more as I'm spinning and barreling through with sword strikes and fire with Glimmer. I have these two.
I'll set the spark. You fan the flame. Set me on fire. Set me on fire. Do it. Set me on fire.
Oh my god.
More sets on fire and just flies straight through.
Oh my god. You know, this is the main feed, but I think that it's something Moore says in part 2 is if you ever see a bird on fire, run. Just run. And Alita does not, as she
did not run.
tosses this acolyte in front of her, and you guys create a little fire tornado through your shenanigans.
We've been practicing.
More,
You know those are real.
More, you weren't fucking kidding. That was terrifying.
Just
Like trying to like put himself out.
I can't look. I'll go mad.
Akuma says, destruction. Love it.
Just echoes.
Well, I don't believe we've met.
Oh my god. Sorry, I'm actually in bigger form. Akumis. And speaking of Zen, that is you up next.
Oh, wonderful.
Is Pulsar's undead?
No, he's barely standing though.
Okay.
So Zen is gonna look at Pulsar, and having heard him say earlier the half-wit, half-elf,
Oh.
she's gonna bristle for her friend and say, she is a whole wit half-elf to you. And she's gonna...
I'm crying over here.
Me too.
And she's just gonna Eldritch Blast him.
Awesome. Let's see it.
Just absolutely.
At your level, how many Eldritch Blasts are you rocking?
2 beams.
Cool. Awesome. So 2 attacks coming at Pulsar Zen as he is just
Does a 19 hit?
19 will definitely
Nice.
hit. What are you all on tonight? No rolls beneath
Rocking
the
it.
17, I feel like.
So he's gonna get hit first with 10
Nice.
damage, and she's gonna do it again because she has 2 hands. And does a 23 hit by chance?
Oh, fuck yeah, it does.
Incredible. So he's gonna take at an additional 3 force damage.
Oof.
Yeah, so Zen's just gonna be like, don't be a dick to my friends, and absolutely blast him. How's he looking?
13 total damage won't. It hurts, but he seems like he's able to. He's like manipulating the magic as it comes at him to just allow it to scorch him, but not enough to drop the power of his unit. So you'll have to do a little bit more damage.
Incredible. So Zen is going to look at Akuma and say, get him, buddy.
Sick him. Sick him.
And we're going to go with some hoof attacks. I just want to, absolutely. All of that. I love this.
Fuck yeah.
25? Does that hit?
Yeah, you know, I think it does. I think we'll say it does. I won't even look.
Does a 15 hit?
A 15 will not, especially as the funny thing is that it would, except Pulsar Zen uses his shield reaction and will raise his AC a little bit. I really thought it would come in handy earlier, but he's got such a but he does avoid that 15.
So he's gonna take 16 bludgeoning.
Oof.
And 9 fire damage.
Yeah.
How's he looking now?
Poorly with
Girl.
Girl.
truly on the very last legs of his life, as he has been dropped to power of 2. I mean, he's already on the brink, but you've got Gloom as well if you'd like to follow up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Awesome. Because it's you're 2 damage away from hitting the threshold.
It simply is the power of friendship. So with Gloom, do I just roll to hit?
Yeah, you'll roll to hit. Gloom has a +2 on the D20. Pulsar Zen's AC is currently a 17.
17.
Oh my god. So as Pulsar Zen activates his shield, which looks similar to Cassie's, but like threadbare, there's just no layered masterwork. It's a scrap of sky that he puts up in front of him to give himself extra defense. And Gloom loves to eat magic and chomps right through it as Pulsar Zen says, I really thought I was going to be the hero that the siblings spoke of.
I think Zen is like, I want to hear you say it. Whole wit, half elf.
Whole wit, half elf.
Whole wit with your chest. Whole wit, half elf.
Whole wit, half. I can't breathe this pain into my diaphragm.
Get him, Gloom.
I look around the edge of the butterfly horizon. I'm like, is Zin making Gloom eat?
I just imagine Zin's like, blah, blah, Akuma, get him. Gloom, get him.
Cassie's wiping the gentlest tears out of her eyes with a big smile.
Pulsar dead?
Pulsar Zen, more like Pulsar dead.
Right, yeah, because he went down.
He is very, very close to dead. He does technically have a power of 1. He's not.
So his unit is still. Him as a unit in theory.
Down.
Yes, but you've done more damage than he has HP.
He's
so
cracked.
no,
He's
not in this fight anymore.
He's levitating is what he's just hanging out. Okay, so that's good. I still have to do my contest with him as well. Which
Yes,
might break that.
and so that exactly.
Which because I'm on Gloom's first contest, each round is at disadvantage. So he is disadvantaged on this contest roll.
Oh, that is good for me to know. Well, it can't get worse than 1.
Ooh.
So,
Well, unless I roll
let's see.
1. 3.
Nice. Let's see if Pulsar has anything that he can do. He is able to swap a D6 with allies, but has no allies.
we killed him.
That's him just in from the bottle.
Yeah.
And his only other ability would take effect if he won, but he doesn't. So he fully breaks, and I think he is alive if you want him to be, but you're welcome to make this lethal if you'd like it to be. But I think he faints as he keeps trying to say, whole wit, half elf, whole, and he's so convinced that he just needs to say it and he'll survive. He eventually just uses so much of his breath that he passes out.
Yeah, Zen, I think, is content with that. I'm just like, yeah,
Zen.
whole wit is true.
That's sick.
And she's drank enough life in this battle. Okay, she's already like with all of it.
I imagine Gloom holding him like a cat holding a dead bird or mouse.
Yes, just limp in his mouth.
Yes,
Can that be canon? Can he just be in his mouth?
Fully.
It's like, Gloom, you can keep him. You can keep him. And he looks at me like, what are to keep him. It's like, yeah.
Holds up a talon and paws at him.
Yeah.
Bats at him.
With my bonus action, I just want to check in on Pavilion.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Oh, yeah, you've got your Gaze of Two Minds active, right?
Yes.
Cool.
I can perceive through their senses. So I just want to check in, see what's up, what they're looking at.
You hear more than anything their hurried pace as they seem to be reaching a point in the planning. You can hear them all kind of talking amongst each other. Oddly, Papaya's doing a lot of leading on the planning as people are just saying, like, they've worked out a shorthand for means yes and means no. Papaya's talking about where he thinks the stars are going to fall, where his fellow spiders are throughout the valley, and you see him start to rebuild the network that the Wish Drinker had created through an artificial means with crystalline webbing. Papaya, with his many brethren along the valley,
Incredible.
from all different points of the valley, you hear them respond to one another, and more than anything, you feel Papaya's hurried pace on that. Give me a perception check to see if you hear what they don't hear.
Oof, 8 perception.
An 8 perception is not going to tell you as Zen, what I will tell you as Maya, that Atalanta is very, very near and stalking them. She was unable to capture her broom away from them last time, but she is near. And more than anything, I think you can sense the preparation that Team Pavilion is doing, and it will definitely give you guys like an additional amount of stars to have been captured.
I think Zin is just going to send the impression on his mind of, good job, you're doing a good job, hold fast, and keep your eyes open.
Okay.
And I'm, with my bonus action, going to extend my Gaze of Two Minds to the end of my next turn.
Oh, okay, cool. That's awesome. Love that. And you can hear Lemillion and Volano like slap fighting in the background. I don't know. Next up is Pulsar Zen, as he is limp and unconscious in Gloom's mouth, but along with him is Claude Ptolemy's turn, who looks up from down below, and I think he's just looking up with wonder. But I'm curious if you guys have any words for him, as he just I think he does call out at some point and say, "Go get him, you two. We'll talk later, I guess."
He's cheering us on.
I think so.
The absolute gall.
Yeah, I think he's like regressing into this cheerleader for two astral elves that he can't understand the importance of their actions.
Why bother to care now?
Do you say this to him?
Yeah. What's in it for you, dude?
Well, I mean, if you would come down here, I think we could talk.
As usual, I'm in the middle of something, and you feel like what you have to say is more important than what I'm doing?
Well, no, I just had I was, you're right, you're busy. I'm sorry. He says, I'm sorry. And as he says it, like out of like that habitual nature, he realizes how sorry. Well, actually give me an insight.
Dirty 20.
Oh yeah. You see him realizing as he says the words, I'm sorry, out of habit, how much you are owed them. With a dirty 20, you see it just like recognition on his face, as if he hasn't had the space or frame of mind to think about this, but it hits him like a punch to the gut, like a slap to the face. He is shocked by the fact that he just said, I'm sorry, to his daughter that he knows he has wronged many times in his life. Never once said those words, but now he finds himself just saying it like, I can see you're doing something important. Ignore me.
Classic.
As he says, I'm sorry, and those words ring.
I'm busy. It's too late to say you're sorry. I needed to hear it then.
Well, I imagine you've kind of dipped down below. The chaos of the sky is lighting up behind you. You've always been meant for such big things. Your mother.
My mother is gone. And when that goodness left, you sought out the badness. And instead of becoming the goodness that the world desperately needed, not to mention me, I needed that goodness. But yours would have sufficed, and instead, you rejected the right thing to do in favor of a goodness that was fleeting, the goodness that came from power, which actually isn't goodness at all. It's typical, and it's small, and it's weak. I'm sure she saw good qualities in you, but I can't say I see them now. It's too late for your apology.
Did you get my letters?
Cassi and Savannah fly into the butterfly cloud.
Oh, dang.
Okay, snapping a Z formation.
Damn. I'm so curious. I think if I'm remembering correctly, way back when, Cassi never read her father's letters, correct?
Correct.
As he says that as if it is in reply to all of these things you have accused him of. And again, with that dirty 20, you can see he believes you to be right. As you're saying it, it's hitting him like the words that he said, I'm sorry. You're hitting him with, again, with punch after punch of epiphany. These are thoughts that he's intelligent enough and aware enough to know he's just never given himself the motivation to look into something as painful as this. But of course, he sees your rightness with every word. They are settling within him like ripples in a pond.
Not to go all therapy on this, but it is an interesting observation of how grief affects parents and children differently.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the age, whereas a parent has the sort of emotional wherewithal to shut down and shield themselves from grief, a child has to learn to manage and grow and deal with it, sort of, in most cases.
You unstoppered a bottle within him, and it is only going to continue to flood his soul until he handles what pours out.
So can he do anything with that guild? Is it an action, bonus action, reaction?
You know what? It is
dude, like do something for once.
Useful.
It is his turn, and even as an individual and not as a unit, he does have some power here.
Huge.
Cassi, take this for what you will, but once more, he does something kind of in regression, but this time there seems to be a little bit more intent behind it, as just out of the corner of your eye, as you turn to leave and fly off into the butterflies, you see him gather up what bare magics he can, for he is still a sage of stars, and cast a dancing light spell to make a few motes of light chase behind you, and I will allow that to be the help action in capturing one wish as he strengthens this view of a migration in flight of living wishes. And you recall times in the past where your mother would say, time to go walk amongst the stars, or time to go seek them out below the surface. Time to go dance in the sky. And you would do so, and your father would join in the only ways that he could with his magics. There was always a point where you had to leave him behind, but his dancing lights would stay as long as they could, till they disappear as you fly into the butterflies. But that will be a help action towards anything you want to do. And next up, that is going to be Alanta, who has a decision to make here.
And is barefoot.
Is this animal handling to get the giant eagle on her side? Or a stealth and a sleight of hand to get her broom back?
Didn't she fail on her perception to find them?
Oh, yes, she did.
So she's going to have to roll another perception. If I'm not mistaken.
In a W formation, that is a natural 20.
No.
Ask me to do it again.
Oh, what was she rolling for?
She found them.
Oh, sorry. Okay, that's fine.
This is gonna be a stealth check. With a roll of a 13, Atalanta actually meets the passive perception average of this group. So I'm gonna actually make this a roll off, with Papaya and Dapple and Lemillion and Volano all being one roll. Do you guys want to roll this? You have a 13 to beat. You have a +4 to this roll.
Natural 20.
Oh.
Okay, so Papaya and company spots Atalanta as she goes to steal the broom.
I imagine like Atalanta, because she's barefoot and dumb, she like
no, she's
flicks
not.
one. I know. She like flicks one of the webs or like accidentally hits it, and Papaya's like,
yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, I see them. I'm gonna get him. Oh, what the fuck is in my hair? Oh, what is this?
As Atalanta is nearly captured by webbing, I am going to give her a sleight of hand check to get the broom, but I'm going to give it to her with disadvantage. She needs a DC 19 to hit this.
That's fair.
That 19 raw would have done it, but the other 8 on the die with this disadvantage will mean she does not get her broom as she reaches out for it and says, "Spoke." spoke.
Ooh, so funny that you say that because I changed the password. Can Papaya just like dunk, and just like not dimension door, but like
100, yes, 110%.
disappears.
110%.
Just you know what this noise means? Sink. I love that. It was like, you know what I mean? Just sink.
God.
And back at the top of the initiative, that is Esther, Igor, and Alita. And I think we'll give Esther and Igor another wisdom save to see if they might intervene rather than just hold back.
Esther, do you see all those colors? I swear it's Zid.
There's no way it's Zin.
They lied to us, Esther.
The only person who lies is me to myself.
You know that if even there's a chance that she was alive.
There isn't. I sold her out. And they killed her.
Are you sure you're just not scared to see her? I'm scared.
You're always scared, Igor.
I know, it's still why I'm telling you now. I'm scared. All the time.
Well, I'm not scared of anything. This friendship would have never survived.
Then we needed you the whole time.
You were the glue. 18 for Esther.
But do I get any modifier?
As Igor, you have a +1, and then you get an additional +2 due to your aura.
I didn't add anything.
Oh, you get +2, and you get an additional +2 from Igor's aura.
21.
18.
Fantastic. You two overcome your fears, and for a moment, Esther, you realize you have been afraid. If not in truth, at least in action. Why are you here? Why are you a star caller? How did they convince you to do this? Yeah, at first it was to protect Igor. He's getting wrapped up in these teams that keep forging out for power because the domain is dying. Both of you know, Esther and Igor, that the domain is dying, and if no one does something, then it will fade.
I couldn't care less about the domain.
But then why did you come?
I just needed to be punished.
Esther has just come out for self-hatred and self-flagellation.
Esther, you've just been staring off into the distance for a while. Do you want to go have fun one last time?
I don't know fun anymore, Igor.
Well, let me teach you.
That's what Esther said.
I'm imagining backflips in the air as Igor returns to the cell.
Do you remember Scotty, the rainbows?
It feels like it was a lifetime ago.
It was.
And all it did was get us in trouble.
Let's go get more trouble.
Do you want to end up dead too?
I mean, it's better than what we've been doing.
I guess that's true.
Kinda.
You're right. You go on. I'll watch.
Will you stay right here?
Yep, I'll watch as you go say hello to someone who's definitely not Zin because Zin's dead.
Give me a perception check, both of you, with advantage.
17 on the die.
I rolled a 5.
With advantage?
Correct. I rolled a 5 and then a 3.
Damn. Esther, you've turned away and aren't looking at this, but Igor, you see that Alita is smiling and confident in a situation that she should not be, and you understand why. And she holds it behind her back, an item of magical power to shatter. An orb of pure black with a tiny pinprick of light at the very center. A star captured within glass. But not only that, a dying star captured within glass. What do you do?
Is this something that Igor and Esther would have been either hearing in rumor that we have, or is it prevalent knowledge, or does Igor know exactly what this is right away?
Yeah, the rank that you've gained would know that this is a self-sacrifice device, one that would take out any and all in the surrounding area. It is a option of last resort so that you would not fall capture to the enemy and otherwise give up secrets of the domain. It was Elias Pending's idea.
I think Igor is going to immediately say,
Esther, Alita has the thing. She has the thing they kept the secret.
The star?
The dying star. I think she's going to use it.
On who?
Everyone. Don't you think we could do something about it?
What's the point? Save people now so we can just fight a different war later?
I just think if we could just help a few people at a time, it would do something.
What do you need?
Let's go fuck Alita up.
I'm glad you added up. So fuck Alita.
You know Esther.
I think Igor's going to turn in that moment, and he's going to, for one, I think, just do a backflip.
Ah, yes. I've been waiting for it.
And he's going to throw his sword mid backflip at Alita and just hope for the best.
A blade that has only ever fit as best as it could, as the luck blade is no longer with you.
Can I roll possibly to see if it turns into the luck blade in this moment with Parable so close?
Oh, fuck yeah. Give me a religion check with advantage.
I will say this backflip makes Esther do a double take.
That's a nat 20.
Oh my God. I am going to solidify right now. I don't care about the logistics. Never will these two swords be in the same room. And perhaps when Parable is not using it, it passes to Igor, and vice versa.
Whenever it's in the pen.
Oh.
And as you
holding
down, as you see Parable in the background in this moment, switching to his pen blade rather than the lucky longsword pen blade, you send it to Igor, and as he flips, he is once more holding his father's tarnished luck sword.
I think in just a moment of like fully embodied luck, mid backflip, he notices it because he was just going to do a backflip, and he notices it's his grandfather's luck blade, and he's going to accidentally let go mid backflip, and it's going to sail towards just luck happening.
Fantastic.
Yeah, at Alita.
With the momentum of a backflip, give me an attack roll.
Esther goes, "Is that
What? My backflip?
no the sword?"
I thought I was hallucinating. Was that my sword?
Esther rubs her eyes.
That's a 19 on the die.
Oh, yeah. You roll that longsword damage, D10, and it looks like Igor's got a +4.
9.
9 hurts. You do have another attack as Igor, and I would give it to you if you want to follow up.
Oh, I get a second attack?
Yeah.
Okay, I think the luck blade literally stalls in the air as Parable tries to click it.
Cool.
It doesn't know where to go for
absolutely.
a second, and just like kind of zigzags back and forth and tries to hit twice.
Awesome. I'm assuming this is for flavor. I might make you have consequences if you're closing in.
That's another 19 on the die.
Fucking yeah. It might not matter. Let's see that damage. This is important. The D10 +4.
A 9.
Okay, so 18 damage is just barely as you cut down at Alita and you take her out, but she doesn't drop it. She doesn't drop the device.
Oh no.
You don't have the action economy to help here, but Esther, if you could be convinced.
Give me hands. Give me hands.
Give me it.
So as you guys close in, do you go to take away this device from Alita?
I think once again, seeing someone close to Esther take action, and the part of her that has always been drawn to other people's energy and charisma is going to sort of kick in out of a sense of FOMO or just something to do to stay distracted. And she will jump in and try and lend a hand here by trying to swoop the star, the dying star.
Okay, I will offer you an attack roll or a sleight of hand check. And I can let you know Esther's stats.
Did I hit Alita? Did she drop it?
I didn't mean to do that.
An attack roll with your arcane burst would be a +5. A sleight of hand check would be a +4.
10.
With a 10, that is going to be an opposed sleight of hand.
You never know.
With an 18 on the die, she holds onto it. You do have 2 attacks, so I would give you 2 attempts here.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it. That's a 10 on the die. So 15.
Again, opposed. With a 14, you will succeed here against Alita as you pull away this device right before she can move to crush it.
Yes!
Good God.
Esther, it bounces between her hands like, holy shit, I have it.
Esther, hold on to it if you're going to pick it up.
I hold it close to my chest.
Okay, just don't squeeze it too hard.
As soon as that has been taken from her, she says, no, the light was on my side. The light was supposed to be on my side. That wouldn't have happened if you took my thing. You took my thing. Give me back my thing.
Your thing?
The thing. Give me back the thing.
You're not a nice lady.
She starts screaming. To the point where it's like that breathless, like.
Igor is going to.
She starts shaking like she's having a temper tantrum, like she's 5.
Igor picks up his sword and checks to see if it's the grandfather blade.
I think it's switched back to your regular old longsword.
I knew I would see things, and he bops her on the flat of the blade on the top of the head.
Fantastic.
Bonk.
Esther, after this series of events between Igor mentioning the cave and Scotty, between the backflip, between the even idea that someone could say that Zin's across the battlefield, all of this is sort of happening. And it is encouraging Esther to just consider potentially opening her eyes and looking in Zin's direction. Maybe.
Do you want to roll for it?
Yeah.
All right.
Zin is still on the other side of the butterflies too. So
Yeah, it's a ways.
Why is my pen not working?
I'll ask you to set the DC.
And this check is sort of to see if Esther sees Zin and believes that it's Zin.
That's the easiest thing to do. She has the time and could just look. I think it's more so, is she willing
Does
to...
she have it in her?
Yes.
I'll say the DC is a 15.
Okay. We're going to call this a wisdom save. So you've got a plus...
That's a natural 1.
What do? You don't look towards Zin. You don't look for her on the battlefield. What do you focus this intense energy?
There's a ball of butterflies and light.
And all Esther can do is look at the dying star.
Oh.
Bathing the world in a violet light, you see that there's something wrong with this light. You're reminded of a time when you walked through a forest and felt feelings not your own. And right now you're sensing that this light wants something from this world.
The light from the dying star.
The light from the dying star. And it feels malignant, for lack of a better word. And I think that is the only thing that you can think of. The end of the world has come and your domain is far off. You've taken no stars to bring back. And Zin's dead. She's got to be dead.
Esther, are you okay? Do you want me to hold it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think I try to grab the void orb.
Gingerly
from-
with Esther in this state, it seems.
Esther's a little rough with the handoff. Sort of like dumps it into your arms.
Whoa. Okay. You're not feeling too great today, huh?
She doesn't say anything.
And Igor's going to look down at this glass orb full of darkness and up at the glowing orb of shimmering butterflies and the stars falling around. He's going to hold the orb tight and start walking slowly towards... Actually, because he knows what this is, he's going to start walking away from everyone.
Oh, okay. So you're not going to go explore and see if Zin's over there. You just...
Well, he desperately wants to, but I think he feels a bigger responsibility of getting this away from everyone.
Could one throw the thing?
Like into space?
Yeah. I mean, shit. Like, there's astral tides. Like, just yeet it. What?
I wonder if Raya would know what to do with it. But Igor doesn't know Raya.
Yeah, I think...
I will...
Do you, Igor?
I will say I'm going to offer both Igor and Esther a survival check here. This is going to be a DC 10, and both of you have a +2 here.
18 on the die.
11.
both enough to know that if you're going to get back to Domi at all, if you have any hope to returning to that domain before it separates off into its own fragment, or this is truly becoming the lands apart. For some reason, the valley's staying together. Esther and Igor have no idea why, but it can't hold forever. And as soon as it collapses, they will be without protected land in a world where non-domain lands are literally starting to crumble and turn into planar distortions, turning into the astral plane or the ethereal. You have no idea what might happen, but if you already get back, time is of the essence. That's just a choice, though, of whether you want to get back to Domi or not.
Igor was just planning on getting as far away as possible, everything going on, because I think he just recalls hearing like, this is like self-destruction. It's like a detonator that will, if you're in range to use it, you're like gonna die.
Yeah.
And so as much as he wants to go back towards Zin, I think he goes to the nearest edge of these glowing tectonic plate rifts, planning on throwing it off.
Fantastic. It's not far off. Parable, Cassi, and Zin as a domain weren't able to hold on to more land. Like it's really just valley and like the barest amount of land rising on the side at that edge where you break through trees and suddenly the horizon is no longer. You can fool yourself where this battle took place that the horizon is still there, but as soon as you get close enough to the edge of this fragment of land, it is just chaos, a chaos of color and light that breaks down from physics. You look at a rushing ocean as if you were in a bubble underneath at the very bottom of it. However, the waters are bathed in that violet light.
Igor's gonna walk up to the edge and think of his friends and throw it as hard as he can.
Who exactly?
Esther and Zin. He really wanted to go see Zin, but he knows that this is such a dangerous thing. It's made of glass, so they shouldn't have been brought out here in the first place.
Well, and this is a big moment. You'd be defecting, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's still sort of this in-between of breaking ties with an alliance that you sort of swore to, but also it's like this medium. You've taken a in the middle stance.
Yeah, I think in a very paladin way, he walks up to the edge as if it looks like he's going to walk all the way back to Domi, but he gets up to this chaos in front of him and he just says 4 by Freds, and he just whips the glass orb as far as he can. And I think he makes the decision in the moment that he's done with anything with the Aelin Solari.
Wait, Igor, are you rebelling?
You see Esther, having followed you kind of silently, stands behind you as you have chucked this thing into the astral waters that surround this fragment of land.
Are you choosing to do the thing someone told you not to do?
I know I've always followed the rules. I just wanted to do good, and I should have listened to you earlier. I think if we had rebelled like you did earlier, I think we would have been in a better place. This has just been so terrible without Zin.
I think with that, we're out of initiative, yeah?
Yeah.
Zin at this point has like made her way over to like where Saphondria and Parable are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
without the butterflies between the east and the west.
So Zin's made her way over, like, as I'm assuming all of this is happening, and as they're at the edge, like talking, looking the other direction.
Yeah.
Igor and Esther would just hear, Igor? Esther? Is that you?
Igor, that's not funny. Stop playing tricks.
Esther, you know it's not funny when you... Wait.
What? I wasn't playing a trick.
Yeah,
You're playing a trick.
Guys, turn around.
I slowly turn around.
I whip around so fast, my brain hits Igor in the head.
Yeah.
The black hole goes off behind us as like through on the other
that's
side.
a movie moment.
Yeah,
So I was just about to say, as it does, thank you for preempting me, as it does, you see the astral waters separate for a moment, enough to see that Domi is in the distance already, separated off as its own domain, floating away as its own fragment. You'd have to make your way into what is essentially a different plane of existence, unformed and primordial, to even make it home. As that massive blast separates these waters, you not only see Domi disappearing in the distance, but something coming closer. Rough wood and cloth sails flying some sort of sail that you see now that it has a sigil on, yes, clearly sails, a bottle, a broken bottle as its glass shatters in the insignia across the top. And you can hear even from this distance as if astral waters can somehow pass sound better than any liquid or air ever could. Wishbeard is here to claim the land once more, and the bottle breaker and his crew be having ya. And there we will end our session, as we have a lot to clean up next session. And thank God we are out of initiative. Zin, Igor, Esther, you are reunited. Parable and Cassi, you are off somewhere hanging out with Cassie's dad. Fucking shit's going down, y'all. And we got some sort of pirate coming in hot.
And still no long rest.
Honestly, Parable's experience after everything went down in Igor and Esther's turn was like, click, 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 click. Why isn't my pen working?
Like shaking it.
Cassi, are there any moments that you have towards the end of that as we cut back towards Parable? Click, 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 click. But we do have Cassi and Claude, if you have any last words.
Cassi says something to Claude to the effect of, tries to take the reins of the relationship in this moment, in acknowledging that she wants to hear him out in some capacity, but she doesn't want it to be a shitty mirror of how Volano was like begging on his knees, you know, flipping like a frog in a pot of water, or whatever the fucking phrase is. Like, I don't want it to be someone groveling at my feet. I want to be treated like an adult now that I am one, and I don't feel like a bunch of exasperated apologies are going to solve this relationship. So I think she says something like that conveys all that.
I think what conveys that mostly is comfortable silence, which is a hard thing to convey because to heal takes time, and words can very, very infrequently help, especially when those words are, I'm sorry. The hurt's been done, the hurt's been had, and I think I will give him a roll here. Let's see if he is wise enough. One last roll for the session. Wise enough just to...
I think he probably opens his mouth, but maybe what Cassi says is just not now.
With a natural 1, he says, "You never read my letters, did you?"
Nope.
And there we will end our session.
I wanted to, as Igor, run up and hug you so bad.
It's so funny. It's like, Igor, Esther, you guys
I was
turn
actually
around,
starting to
explosion,
sweating.
we all turned back around.
I was sweating because I was like, if we're going to have to role play this reuniting right now, I don't know. I don't know if I can.
That was so fun. Okay. I got stuff to read. You know I do.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want it to end, but it's gotta. And if you are unfamiliar with a couple of characters mentioned throughout this, check out the Patreon, especially the free exclusives that we have on the main feed for characters such as Igor and Esther from the Rave of Wonders, Nixon Moore from the Sands of Favor, and many, many more over on the Patreon. Yes, I'm sorry. I should never forget the hunt. This has been a bite-sized dice roll, twice told story told by yours truly, Rob Whitehead, and brought to life by my players, G-My and Sav. To post about the show, use hashtag DiceSized. That's DICESIZED. For more like this, follow us on Instagram and find us on Patreon. That's patreon.com/DiceSized. DiceSized.